Are you ready to reclaim your time and energy? Well, today is your summer reset for clarity and joy on the Wandering But Not Lost podcast. And now your host, Jen O'Brien and Matt Emerson.
Welcome back, friends, to the Wandering But Not Lost podcast, where we align, connect, and prosper. Today, we're bringing you something just a little different, something deeply needed. Let's talk about slowing down to speed up. That's right.
Love it.
We're going to slow down so we can speed up. Because it's summer, nature's in full bloom. Depending on where you are in the world, it might be incredibly hot, like 108 degrees. Just saying. And while everything outside is basking in that 108-degree sun for me, most of us are still grinding it out, running on autopilot. But what if this season was really an invitation to pause, reassess, and actually enjoy the life you're building? So today we're going to talk about reclaiming your time and energy, your summer reset. It's time to break the burnout cycle, come back to alignment, and guess what? We have something that can help you with that.
We do. It's called the Clarity Series. Module 1 of that dropped just a week and a half ago or 2 weeks ago. It was called Rooted in the Unknown. This series is all about meditation, about breath work, about journaling, about reflection, and it's about alignment. It's about grounding. It's about taking yourself and all of the chaos that's happening around you and giving you a little bit of focus, getting you to be able to get rooted back into who you are and who you want to be. So it's a three-part module, or three-part series altogether. Like I said, module 1, Rooted in the Unknown, dropped just a couple weeks ago. Tomorrow, actually, our second module drops, and it is called Aligned in the Everyday, which is going to be really great and kind of on topic for what we're talking about today, which is, I guess, no surprise, really, now, is it? But anyway, and then our third module, which is coming down in August, is called Ignited by Purpose or With Purpose. Great series, a lot of great information for you to get grounded and rerooted. Right now, we are offering at a special founding member price of $22. If you get into this before tomorrow, this is your last chance to get that founding member price of $22. Tomorrow, with the drop of module 2, it goes up to $33, and then in August, it goes up to $44. So you will, if you procrastinate and get it tomorrow, you're still getting a great deal. You're just not getting the founders members price of $22. So if you are a founding member, or if you join tomorrow when it's $33, you will still get module 3 for the same low price. So you're getting a deal no matter which way you look at it here. Go over to WBNLcoaching.com, go to our courses tab, click on the Clarity Series, and you get all the information about what's in the series and what you're going to be able to benefit from. You know what it feels like. You wake up tired. You're going through the motions, you're, snapping at people or feeling strangely disconnected. That's what we're talking about here. Something is off. Even with the parts of your business that you actually enjoy the most and you actually love, that's your body and your soul saying, pause. Or it's time to pause. Or recognize that it's time to pause. Because burnout isn't always a big, huge crash. It's not something that can sometimes just, shut down everything around you. Sometimes it's a slow drift into misalignment. You're productive, but uninspired. You're busy, but unsatisfied. And summer always kind of has a way of turning up the volume on all of that stuff, because you kind of want to get out and play and you kind of want to just do other things, right? The contrast of nature's ease versus our hustle is kind of hard to ignore.
Because if you've been pushing since January, like probably all of us, right? Yeah. Now's that perfect time to step back and ask, hey, what's working for me personally, in my personal life, in my business life? What's draining me? There's always something that's draining you, that's maybe using up time, and you're allowing it to use up that time. So now it's about identifying that so you can do something about it. And what do you actually want more of in the second half of the year? That's what we're talking about. A reset means, okay, great. You take an audit of what's happened, but now we need to readjust that so that you can go forward with clarity and with, intention, so that you have a really excellent second half. It's not about throwing out your plans. It's about just reconnecting with your really big why. So again, in our Clarity Series framework, we really touch on this idea of audit, adjust, align. We love alliterations here at WBNL. So It's easy to remember. You audit, you just pause and audit. It's not with judgment, okay? You make the necessary adjustments. Sometimes it's tiny little tweaks, and then you get back into alignment. And if you audit that time and energy and you adjust what's not working, then you can align or realign with what lights you up. You probably were in alignment at some point, and then you get out of adjustment and alignment, and then you just get back to it.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. For me, I find myself kind of going through this process kind of naturally. But I'll tell you, if you really focus on the alignment phase of this or the reset phase of this with real intention, it's a whole different and much more powerful, or you get a much more powerful outcome from it than just going through it. I don't know if that makes sense to you, but I feel like we've talked about these things, and we've talked about, I mean, this is the whole practice what you preach, walk your talk kind of thing. I feel like we're very, Jen and I are very good about doing that in our real lives. But sometimes it becomes a little bit human, second nature or rote, and that's good that you have that built into you. But when you stop and really say, now it's time to do this, it makes a whole different outcome of the whole thing. So let's normalize this a little bit, because this is what I think people, there's a certain amount of guilt that comes with relaxation or ease, because taking time off doesn't mean you're falling behind. Now, it certainly means that you might have you have to get back in the game when it's time to get back from your back up. But you don't have to don't ruin your time off by worrying about, oh my gosh, when I get back, it's going to be hell. That's defeats the whole purpose, right? You're not allowed just to rest. Let me just tell you this. Let me say that again. When you take that time off, you're not allowed just to rest. You're required to do it if you want to actually lead and grow your business and do something sustainably across the rest of the year. So important. So what would it look like if you scheduled your joy like you scheduled your listings, like you scheduled your prospecting, like you scheduled your doing the daily? What would it be like if you scheduled the rest of your life like that? So, for example, what if you added a beach day to your calendar? So it's on your list of things to do. And we actually talk about this a lot in the Do the Daily, right? And making sure that your personal life is in there, that you're going to have maybe a no meetings Friday this month if you are heavy on the meetings. If you unplugged one weekend a month, just to go do the things that are going to refresh you and not so much about your business. It's so vitally important to do that little reset. Or here's one, take a vacation that's actually restorative.
Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah, I'm going to say, I know a lot of people that need to do this. One of them is sitting in this podcast right now because Jan O'Brien is always working. She always works.
Yeah.
Right? And this is one of the big things that's hard if you are someone that does video, that does things in nature that we talk about so much on this show. You have a natural urge or a drive to go out and I'm going to go film a video for work today. But you know what? Sometimes when you're on vacation, like for example, Jan's planning a trip hopefully to Sedona soon, and maybe she'll only be working on Jan while she's right there. And
that is the plan.
And maybe you and I, listeners and viewers, don't get to, go on hikes with Jan. You know what? That's okay, because Jan needs a little Jan time. So I'm just doing a little bit of live coaching here.
Thank you. He brought it up for me because I'm like, look, I am taking a restorative long weekend for me, and it's coming up next month. So there.
And sometimes it's important just to throw those subtle things in there. So when you honor your energy, though, you're serving yourself best, but you're also going to be able to serve your clients better.
Beautiful. I love it. So, gosh, I'm already relaxed thinking about.
I bet you are.
And this is sometimes it's okay to, for me, it's definitely okay to just go solo. There's some power in going and doing something on your own, which is what is really needed for me, and I'm planning that. So let's talk a little bit about systems that support your rest, the ability for you to feel okay, to not have that guilt associated with, because I can relate to that. It's like,
sure,
we grind all the time in this culture, and we're always, working, not all of us, but, pretty much all of us, unless you're retired, okay, completely retired. You are having to work to pay the bills, to do this and so on. So it's just the way we were raised, right? It's in our DNA, unfortunately. And so it is difficult to take a break, and for some people, but I feel like too, we don't take enough of them. Like we work to get our 2 weeks off, right?
Yeah.
That's how we do it in America. I was just talking to somebody yesterday who is, from Europe, and it's a completely different culture in Europe. They really, really hold dear the rest time, from the siestas to not everybody is watching the clock and grinding it out all the time, to a month vacation.
Yeah.
That's different, right? So different cultures, different things. So for us, for those of you that are, kind of wound this way where you go on vacation, it takes you 2 days to stop thinking about work. Let's talk about how you can make that easier. And that's what I mean by having some systems. So you can here's a couple ideas. Delegate things that you constantly think you have to hold on to. We've talked about this. We just did an episode on hiring an assistant, a virtual assistant. Take the plunge and get somebody to help you. Take 25% of the tasks that you do as a real estate agent, or even in any business. There is definitely 20 to 25% of the tasks you could delegate to someone else, which would allow you to feel okay about taking some time off. Use ChatGPT and the AI tools that you have to really help you. That is one of the ways that you could get an assistant, to be quite honest. Sure. It's helped us. We talked about that in that particular episode. But you have to take these steps. You need to have systems in place for your business that are automated. That means taking advantage of things like a CRM or a checklist or whatever it does that doesn't require you to physically be in the business every day. If you don't have any of that going on, then you are going to be not relaxing. You're going to be thinking about what's happening at work. For a lot of real estate agents, it's having someone who can watch your business for you. For Cosmo and I, we don't take vacations at the same time, and that gives me peace of mind because he can handle things, and vice versa when he and his family take a break, right? So sustainable systems equals a sustainable you, but you've really got to dive in to creating those systems for you. You really need some structure and support so you can relax. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. That's so wise, Jan O'Brien, and powerful too. So we want to leave you today with a challenge, one that makes you feel as good as a cold drink on a hot day.
All right. So let's choose one area, just one area of your life or business to reset this month. So a couple ideas: set a new boundary around work hours. Okay. Add one joyful activity to your weekly routine, something for you. Okay. Block a reset day on your calendar. No clients, no calls, just you. I dare you to do that one. I'm going to dare myself to do that one.
I was just going to say, I wonder
one reset day. You know what? I almost had that yesterday, except I had to make a client call because of a problem.
Well, you know what? Close. But if you only did one while you were frolicking, that actually
it was only one call, and it was near the end of the day. So I say I had a reset day yesterday.
I'm wondering when Jan was putting together the show notes or the script for this, or the outline for this episode, if she knew that she was writing this for herself, or or it was maybe. It was your inner self saying, I'm going to get Jen to write.
No, because, I work with my chat to help me with the idea. And so I went in and I said, we had this idea for an episode. And then I went, I want to change this episode. This is what I want to do. I want to put in there for the people who are thinking, I really need to be able, I wanted the summer theme, and you need to be able to have an idea of how you can find the balance of taking time off and enjoying it. And this was the result of that. So
I love it. It just makes me laugh, because here's the thing. It's not about overhauling everything. That is so important to know. It's not about going in. This is not a chore. That's the whole point. It's about realignment. It's coming back to the version of you that feels clear, grounded, and really in the flow.
Because here's the ultimate truth, everyone. The most successful business owners out there don't just grind. They really do know how to recover and reset and realign, because they have systems and they delegate, and they aren't trying to do it all by themselves.
That's right.
So if this episode gave you any inspiration, that's what we're here for. Hopefully it gave you permission to take a breath. We'd love to hear about it. Let us know. Give us the feedback. That's why we do this, every week. We've been doing this now, 370 episodes. Come on. What are we into? Year 5 of this? Yeah. I don't even know what this is. But give us some feedback. We're hoping each time, or anytime you happen to catch something, there's just some little small nugget of something that's there for you. Please, reach out, let us know. And you can always reach out to us if you're a business owner, a real estate agent, and you want a one-on-one consultation, we're here for you for that too. That's absolutely free, just to check in, see what kind of services that we have and courses that could help you.
Yeah. And if you're ready to build that business or anything that supports you, your life, your business, and not to consumes all of that, head over to WBNLcoaching.com. You can get and connect with us with the stuff that Jan was talking about, the courses, the coaching, the workbooks, the free downloads, and of course, our new Clarity series, which we dropped just a couple weeks ago. I talked about that at the lead of the show here. I'm going to mention it again because this is a powerful series. It's just getting started. Mod 1 was just dropped. Mod 2 drops tomorrow. If you want information about that, go to WBNLcoaching.com and click on our courses button. You will be able to go over and get all the information on what that course is all about. Now, once again, I want to say that our founding member price was $22. With that founding member price, you got our first module, you got the other 2 coming on, and any sort of add-ons or additions we have down the pike. Tomorrow, that price goes up to $33. So I can urge you to don't walk, run over to WBNLcoaching.com and sign up for that $22. What am I saying? Wait till tomorrow, because that's actually better for us. 33. But if you go in for 33, you're going to get module 4 for absolutely nothing more on top of that. So you're going to get 3 locked in at 33, which is just, really, quite frankly, a steal as well.
Well, frankly, it's definitely less than, I can't say a cup of coffee necessarily, but definitely less than a lunch.
Definitely less than filling up your car.
Definitely less than a tank of gas. Sorry, there you go. And it can do so much more. Here's to slowing down with purpose, everyone, and speeding up in your alignment.
So until next time,
wander with intention and stay grounded in clarity.